This is going to be another level of spinal extension on our fronts on the floor called Cobra. Okay, so this just takes it a little further than Seal did. So once again, we're going to be on our stomachs on the floor. We're going to find that tuck to the tailbone, but let the glutes stay fairly relaxed. Hands are just below shoulders. And then we're going to begin to lift ourselves upwards. So unlike Seal, your arms are a little more up and down. That's going to bring your upper body much more upright. You're probably going to feel a stronger stretch through your entire abdomen. And we're still pushing away from the ground with the arms, creating space in the joints. We're not hyperextending and locking out the elbows. Space between the tops of the shoulders and the bottom of the ears. More of your chest and some of your belly is going to be facing forward a bit, and you're looking kind of more at the wall in front of you. So this next spinal extension practice is potentially a little deeper. It's done in a different orientation than the Sphinx and Seal and Cobra and Locust that we've done before. But what we're going to do is we're going to be on our knees, standing tall on our knees. We're going to bring our hands to our low back, top of our bum. Fingertips are pointing down towards the floor, and you're bringing your elbows back as best as you can, nothing too crazy. Your feet can be like mine are, where the tops of the feet are along the floor, or you can curl your toes under, whichever feels more comfortable to you. And all that we're going to start to do is we're going to start to send the pelvis forward. You're going to open through that front body, chest comes towards the ceiling a little bit, and just looking up gently. And you can decide how deep you go. You could stop here. You don't have to go very far. But this is just another way to practice being in a spinal extension in a different orientation, so it might feel a little different in your balance and what's engaging and all that kind of stuff. That's as far as we're going to take Camel. There are deeper variations of that, but we're not going to cover that in this series. That's just something that you can begin to play with. All right. Lizard is a fun one. And again, it's going to start getting us ready for what that front leg needs to do, starting to add a little bit of rotation, knee dropping out to the side while the other leg is out back, right? So it's kind of like a low lunge, like we did before, but it's a little spicy. So I'm going to show you from the side, and then I'm going to turn and face the camera so that you can see from two angles. But what we're going to do is we're going to start in a tabletop. You can choose what height you want your blocks on. And we're going to step a foot forward like we did in the low lunge, except this time it's going to come to the outside of the block. Okay? So what that does, and I'm going to show you from the front now. Okay? So I'm going to step my foot forward to the outside. So it just puts more space between my feet. We can really come forward into it to stretch those hip flexors. And then we can start to, on the outer edge of this foot, bring that knee out to the side. So you can begin to see how this starts to mimic the shape that this leg is going to have to take in Pigeon in the front. The difference being that we haven't put the outer shin on the floor yet. But we're still in. Let me get into this framed a bit better. We're still in kind of a pigeon-like shape. Our bodies are just much more upright. I'll show you from this side too. Okay, so I'm going to step the foot forward, lean into it, and start to let this leg fall out to the side. So you can see how this just looks like a very elevated off the floor pigeon in a way, but this is more of a lizard kind of pose. So we can come out of that and we can give that a go on the other side. So bit of a tabletop-like position, step the other foot forward on the outside of the block. You can walk the blocks forward to bring length into that back legs, hip flexors. And then when you're ready, you can start to turn over on that outer edge of that foot, keeping the ankle strong. You're not like rolling your ankle to let that knee drop out and down to the side a little bit. Okay, so we want to really start prepping that front leg a bit more for being rotated and ready for that shin to rest on the floor. So we're going to do figure 4. There are many different orientations you can do this one in. And I do have a video that I will link in the video above, up here, where I've broken down figure 4 in the past in legs up the wall, 90-90 on the wall, feet supported on something on the floor, etc. But for today, what we're going to do is we are going to sit back like this. We are going to bring one ankle to the other knee. And then what we're going to do is decide if this is enough. If this is too much, you can let that leg move out a little bit. The leg that has the foot on the floor can slide away from your bum a little bit. That's going to lessen the stretch. The closer that foot is to your bum, the stronger the stretch. If in this kind of a shape, you're still not feeling too much, you can actually move your bum to that foot, okay? But you can see how that gets this front top leg into the kind of shape it's going to need to be in eventually in pigeon.